Yeah, it's a big stretch here for us with Tennessee and Auburn back to back. I mean, those are two of the top teams in the SEC. If we're gonna have any chance to win the SEC, we got to play well here in these two games. So it's not easy to win at Tennessee. I think they've only lost 5 times at home in the last 4 years. So it's a tough place to play. They're a very good team, one of the best teams in the country, and we're both playing for conference championship. They got one loss, and we don't have a loss, and Auburn's undefeated as well. So we're gonna have to play well. They do a good job turning people over. They're super physical. We didn't handle it well up there last year. We only had 2 losses in the league last year, and this was one of the 2 was up there. So it's our guys, and we've had an issue with turnovers. So we've got to do a good job taking care of the ball a lot better than what we have in the past. And we're gonna have to obviously guard Dalton Connect. I mean, he's put on quite a show here these last 3 games. I think he's had 3 straight games of over 28, which scoring at a high level, back-to-back 35-point games or 35 plus. So, the issue is if you focus your entire defense on him, they've got other really good players. I mean, Vescovi's one of the best guards in the league. He's been here. Ziegler's one of the best guards in the league. He's been there. Duke can score it. James has played well. They've got multiple guys that can score it. So it's hard to just completely focus on Dalton, but you've got to focus on him because he's scoring the ball at a high clip right now.
Start with Charlie.
Yeah, hey, Coach. You just mentioned after the game how Mark tweaked his ankle. Just how's he progressed this week? How is he looking for tomorrow?
You know what? He's been able to fully practice these last 2 days. He's not 100%, but we haven't held him out of anything in practice. So it's progressing every day. So hopefully he's better tomorrow than he was today. But he's a leading scorer in the SEC. So we're going to play him if he's sitting anywhere close to 100%.
Nick Kelly.
Yeah, hey, Nate. Zakai Ziegler has, I think, one of the top assist rates in the country. What about his ability to distribute the ball makes them effective and helps them out?
I mean, so fast, he gets in the paint so frequently, and when he gets in there, he draws a crowd, and then he's unselfish and makes the right reads and kicks it out or drops it off. So, he's been causing defenses in this league problems since he got there as a freshman. So, it's no surprise that he's at the top this year, but we got to do a good job trying to keep the ball out of the lane with him. He's a little water boy. He's quick. He gets it, and he goes in transition. He's made them a lot faster team since he's gotten there, and they put shooting around him and makes it even better for him with the way that they've been able to space the floor a little bit more with their shooting now.
Tony.
Yeah, Nate, you keep on playing these top 10 games away from Coleman Coliseum. What did you think you learned from the first 3 last month that will kind of help you fare better in bowling?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing we learned in those 3 was that we were right there with all 3 of them for large parts of the game. Every one of those 3 games, we had at least a 6-point lead in the second half and 75% or greater winning percentage, how they do that, whatever, and we coughed them up. So, if we're fortunate now, Tennessee's, when we played them away from Coleman, those other 3, only one of those was a true road game. So this would be a true road game in conference. It's a little bit different environment. So, if we were fortunate enough to get a lead, hopefully our guys have learned a little better how to hold it. And then they're going to know they're going to have to compete for 40 minutes. You can't come out. It could go the other way. We might be down big and have to come back. Or if we're up big, or if it's just tight within a couple of possessions the whole game, you got to play 40. You can't play 28 or 32 and win these big games. It's got to take a full effort from everybody for 40 minutes.
Johnny.
Hey, Nate, I remember talking to you last year, and Mark Sears, you said, kind of overexceeded your expectations as a scorer. Now he's leading the SEC in scoring. As you head deeper into conference play this year, how confident are you that you can make sure that you keep his scoring consistent? Obviously, he might not be the highest scorer in the SEC, but he kind of took a dip last year as a scorer in SEC play.
Yeah, he's been through a year of SEC play. I think he feels more comfortable, and I think, he is leading the league in scoring, but we're also moving the ball around and sharing it pretty well too. So, kind of like I said with Dalton, it's hard to just focus on him because they got a lot of other really good players. We've got the same issue. If you want to put all of your focus on Mark, Aaron can go get you 20 any given night. Rylan can get you 20. Reitzel can get you 20. Grant can go score. We've got other options that people have to focus on that are actually playing pretty well right now. You look at how Reitzel and Rylan have been here lately. That I think it's hard for a team to just completely focus on Sears. And I think the better he passes it and makes the reads and helps his teammates get better, it's going to open it up for him more because they really can't put two guys on him all the time when he's able to get rid of it and make them pay for trying to trap him. He got stuck in some traps against Missouri. I think, if teams start to do that, I think he'll be better. I think he realizes he's got to get the ball out of his hands a little bit quicker on some of that type of stuff.
Jack.
Hey, Nate, I know you've mentioned like Mo Diabate and kind of what he's brought, but what have you noticed just with this strong start in conference play, maybe in practice with this team just giving more effort here and working harder to try and make these blue collar plays?
Yeah, obviously Diabate plays really hard. That's why he's getting minutes because we needed to infuse some blue collar toughness, and he's about all that. So, I think some other guys are picking it up from him. Some other guys are starting to play harder as well. I think, Estrada's been playing really hard, tons of blue collar stuff. So, and our bigs have typically played pretty hard. They just fouled too much doing it. I think they're learning how to guard without fouling it, and Grant's been able to be a little bit better. Grant doesn't foul as much. We can play him. So, I think we're getting a little deeper with where we're able to go. And if guys aren't going to play tough and hard and give us max effort, they're just not going to be able to play.
Charlie.
Because you mentioned Ryland earlier. You've also talked about his defense this year, but he's come along offensively. Just how important is he, the way he's playing, to keep this up for you guys to see success?
Yeah, I think in his last 6 games, he's averaging almost 15 points and 5 rebounds, over 2 assists. So he's really talented offensively. Guys go through struggles. I mean, even last year, Brandon Miller, I thought was his best perimeter player in college basketball for sure. But, he struggled a little bit at the end of the year. It's typical. You look at the best players in the country, they go through slumps, and Ryland wasn't playing up to his potential early, in the year, like on offense. We know how good a shooter he can be and how well he shoots it in practice at times. And it's nice to see him start playing well in games. And he's definitely on an upswing, getting more confidence in his offensive game. And, while that's happening, his defense can't slip, and I don't think it has, and I think he realizes that. So, our challenge to him is to be the best two-way wing in the league, and he's got a chance to be that.
2 more, Ben.
Hey, Nate, I wanted to ask you about 2 Tennessee players in your preparation. Just what impresses you most about Dalton and what he's been able to do this year? And you've obviously gone up against Jonas Adu for 3 years now. Just how have you seen him kind of elevate what Tennessee's able to do on the offensive end?
Yeah, I mean, Dalton, he's got size, he's athletic, he shoots it really well. So you got to be right there on the catch, otherwise he's getting it all. You get the shot off quick and can shoot over the top of smaller guards. And they've done a good job. I mean, they're playing a little bit. There's some similar stuff on offense, but they're playing to Dalton's strengths a little bit, and he's coming off some of those wide pins and some floppies, and they're putting him in ball screens where he's handling ball screens with his size. So they're using him in a lot of different ways, and they even post him a little bit because he's got size, and teams would want to guard him with a guard the way he shoots it. But if you're 6'7" and post, that makes. Do you want to switch? Do you want to put your small guards on him? They put you in a quandary. I think Coach Barnes done a really good job utilizing what Dalton does well. And then talking about Jonas, he's just progressively gotten better every year. I mean, he's gotten he looks like he's more athletic, moves better. You know, he's able to knock down, you know, kind of that mid-range shot while he's also, you know, can score to the post. He deep seals you. His passing's improved. I mean, he helps them a lot, and he's big. He's got real size in there. So, I mean, they're, you know, one of the few teams in the country that are really good on offense and defense. I mean, we got to get our defense better. They're number 2 in the country in defense, and if they're not top 20 in offense, they're borderline top 20 in offense, and he's a big part of both of that. You know, particularly on defense, he kind of anchors the whole deal back there, and then on offense, he's gotten a lot better, and he's playing well for him.
Last one, Jack.
And Nate, I know Mo only got, I think, 6 minutes against Missouri. How's he been progressing with his recovery?
Yeah, I mean, he's just with the injury, he can't really practice. We're trying to save him for games, so he hasn't practiced much. So it's a little bit harder when you can't practice to be in sync with everybody else for the games. But you know, he's kind of available as front court depth when we need it. You know, he's going to play hard. Just he's got this injury that we kind of have to deal with the rest of the year.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys.